Hi Meredith, I'm Gloria.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming in today. And I was hoping how I could help you today.
I feel like everything is falling apart. I'm losing my mind, and I'm depressed.
Have you tried anything yet to attempt a resolution of your difficulties?
Eating, but that's not really working out so well.
And right now, Meredith, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the most depressed, where are you today?
A 10.
A 10, okay. And on a scale from 1 to 10 with the same parameters, with 10 being the most depressed, where were you when Bailey left?
Probably around a 10. That's what
Also a
started.
10.
Yeah.
Okay. And Meredith, suppose you went to sleep tonight and there was a miracle and your problem was resolved. How would you know?
Because I would have my son back.
Alrighty. And how would Owen know without you saying anything to him?
How would he know that the miracle had happened?
And that everything was fine?
I
And you
think
didn't have to say anything at all to
our
him?
relationship would probably just be better. Like, he would just recognize that there was this weight lifted.
Alright. And what do you think of this problem of Bailey? When you think of the problem with Bailey wanting to leave, when do you feel like it wasn't as much of a problem as it is now?
I think initially it didn't feel like much of a problem. I thought he was just going to get over it and then go to UF like he'd always planned. And it didn't really hit me until he was already gone.
Okay. And how did you deal with it then when he left? When he actually walked out the door, gave you a kiss goodbye, and
I think I tried to kind of block it out and, try to just be strong for him because I knew it might have been hard for him too leaving. And I tried to just be supportive. And then once he was gone, it really hit me, and then there was a lot of crying and
okay. Did you try anything to get over that initially? The crying and depression?
I didn't really know what to do. It just kept happening. I would start crying and I couldn't stop for hours and hours.
Okay. And what do you think keeps you going under everything that's happened? You still get out of bed, you still go to work. What do you think keeps you going?
I think just knowing that my son wouldn't want me to be sitting around depressed all the time. I think my son would want me to just continue doing what I do on a daily basis. So for him, I keep going because I don't want him to be worried.
You and Owen are still together, yes? Okay. Why do you suppose that you are still together and that things haven't gotten worse and that somebody has left?
Once again, I think that has a lot to do with Bailey. Logically, it seems like kind of a small reason to end a marriage, but it is difficult, and I'm trying to kind of get a grip on my feelings so that I can express them to Owen. But there's a lot of distance right now, but we're trying to make it work because of Bailey.
Okay. What things, if you can think back for a minute, what things when Bailey was younger, what things did you and Owen and Bailey do together as a family that was really fun and it was a happy time? Can you think of some things?
We went to Disney, and Bailey loved that, obviously. And Bailey liked being outside a lot, so we would take him to the park and just watch him run around on the playground for hours. And tried to teach him how to fish a little bit, but he wasn't so into that. Too much patience, I think.
Where did you go fishing?
There's a river by our house that
Alrighty. And this may sound like a long question, but just think about it. What strengths would you say that you possess? What strengths would you say you have?
That's a difficult question.
think about that for a second, because also think about what kind of character traits that you have that people see in you as positive and makes them want to be around.
Well, I think I'm pretty confident in what I do. Like when I make a decision, I feel like I can pretty much be solid in that decision.
Mm-hmm.
Although lately it's been a little shaky, and I don't know. I think I'm kind of a go-getter.
All right. And what talents would you, or somebody else looking, you talking about Meredith, she's so great, or what kind of talents do you think that they might say that you have?
I think they would say that I'm very good at relating to people. I'm a good person to have around.
So would you think those are also strengths?
I guess so, now that you say it that way.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And since your anger towards Owen keeps you from talking a lot to him, do you think that if you started a conversation with him and you asked him what his thought process was while he was encouraging Bailey, do you think that that would help? Do you?
I think if we could actually have that conversation, that would probably help. It just seems like every time we try to talk about it, it just kind of fizzles. We don't really talk much about it because I think that he can kind of sense that it's going to be a big fight. And I think maybe we're trying to kind of avoid that. But yes, I think that would definitely help.
And do you think that, or do you know anything about his background? What do you think he would say? Do you have any idea even?
Knowing Owen, I would say he probably, just wants to be as supportive as he can as a father, which I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish that he would have talked to me a little bit more during the process. I feel like I was just blindsided, and I feel like I was betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. If you went to bed, when you go to bed tonight, try to guess if your anger towards Owen over what happened with Bailey, try to guess if you think it would be better, worse, or the same tomorrow. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's hard to predict the future, but I guess depending on what I do today, if I do go home and try to have that conversation with him, then maybe tomorrow things could improve. So I think it would probably help me be a little more proactive about the situation.
Okay. And if you do that each night, go to bed, when you go, think about how would it be tomorrow. If you do that, if you try to do that each night, and you compare with all the previous nights before that, do you think that that would be helpful, something helpful for you that you could maybe talk to Owen about?
I do. I think that could be something really good gradually to kind of work my way out of that anger.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that is something that Owen would be able to do?
I'm not sure. He's pretty stubborn. But I think he'd probably be willing to give it a try.
Okay, you know your history. Do you know any of Owen's history growing up?
I know that he grew up in Hawthorne, and most of his family.
That's a small town.
Yes, and most of his family lives there. And he went to UF, and yeah.
Did he have plans to go to UF, or did he always just want to stay there? Was that his dream, or did he want to go to another college?
He's told me before, but I don't remember. I don't quite remember. I'm pretty sure he was always planning on going there, though.
You might want to talk to him about that. Something may have happened in his past that made him think that Don't know. That's why that'd be a great conversation to have with Owen, because something may have happened in his past that makes him think that he wants to give Bailey an opportunity. Whereas if you didn't experience the same thing he did, you think something different. So, okay. You have done well today. And do you think, let's see, between now and next week, can you write down your observations on good things that happened between you and Owen?
Sure, I could try.
Okay. And
I totally forgot, just brain fart. Owen actually wanted to go to college in the Carolinas, but his father was sick, so he had to stay and take care of him. So, I mean, I guess maybe that could be why.
okay. And did you say that he had brothers or sisters, or he was an only child?
He was an only child.
Okay. So then that may, if you have a conversation with him, you may find that that could be why he wanted to help Bailey. So you may be able to talk about that. Okay, and what would you like to see as a positive change between the three of you as a family? So not just you and Bailey, and not just you and Owen, or not Bailey and Owen, but all three of you together.
I think ultimately we need to be able to communicate effectively. I don't feel like now we really are open and honest with each other about how we feel. And I think obviously if we're going to move forward, we need to be able to express our feelings to each other in a safe and positive, manner without argument, and be able to just listen to each other and see each other's point of view.
When does Bailey come home again?
Christmas break.
Christmas break, and it's what, August 15th? I don't even know the date today. But so that may be something you and Owen can talk about, maybe discuss. And I don't know if you would want to talk to Bailey over the phone. You may want to wait at Christmas break and see what he's open to discussing, because he may be feeling, you don't know, but he may be feeling some anxiety over you and Owen, because he's probably, you were happy before all of this, so he can experience that as he's experiencing it as well, and he's your only child, correct? Okay. And what would you like to see differently in terms of your stress eating? Because you told me, you confided that you had, when you get upset with each other, you leave the house and you eat. And I think you said you gained 15
pounds in the last 2 months. I mean, I recognize that it's not a healthy way to fix things. I think that once we do get that open communication and everything's kind of out in the open, that'll probably help. I don't know, maybe talking to a nutritionist or something, just getting kind of that extra support.
Is Owen active? Bicycles, rowing, anything like that you might find interesting?
I'm sure we could find something.
It would be something to think about. And I think that you said that Bailey had wanted to go to University of Colorado. He had seen all the interesting things like hiking and hot air ballooning and all that touristy things that you can't get in Florida in a small town. Maybe you could discuss when he comes back for Christmas that you and Owen could visit out there. And have you ever been hot air ballooning before?
I have not.
That would, and he's never done it either. Probably Owen hasn't. Maybe y'all could do something interesting like that and start looking at your family again to do fun things together. That's a possibility. Well, think about your homework for writing the good things that make you happy as a family. And I would continue writing. You could even start a journal. Write on, when you go to bed, what made you happy that day? What made you sad? If you and Owen had any conversations that were good. If you started to get upset with him, but then you stopped yourself, write that down, because that's a strength. I believe. So we'll meet again next Tuesday? Tuesday? Okay. All righty. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much,
much.
Meredith. All right. Bye-bye.